Hello, my name is Gemma, and this is your podcast, Cosmic Woman. Make yourself feel right at home. Allow your heart to expand and your mind to be at peace. We are all one. That's why this is an invitation to listen with your whole being, as if it was you telling your own narrative. Make each episode an opportunity to ask yourself, who am I being as I listen? I bring this podcast to you with so much love and devotion. That love that is you. Imagine you watching your favorite film. That film that makes you feel things, where you completely lose yourself in it. You get drawn into one of the characters or several. You live it, you feel emotion, realizations happen. You have thoughts, you live the character's life as if it were your own. The film ends and for an instant, a few seconds, perhaps fractions of a second, you emerge from your absorption in the film and realize it's over. You feel sad it's finished, or perhaps you continue to experience the sensations you had during the film. It's a moment of confusion, of realignment with reality. There's a moment, a tiny moment where there's nothing, where between the end of the film and the next thought that automatically comes to mind, there's a small space of emptiness, a millisecond of silence, until a thought arrives. What you're going to do next, or your opinion of the film, it could be anything. That character in the film you identified with and lived adventures alongside is like the ego, creating its own perception of the adventure. The ego needs drama to live, to exist. The ego needs a character, a story, memories, experiences, ideas in short. And behind the ego, which is living those adventures, is you, your true essence, observing, being. And that moment of emptiness, of silence when you finish watching the film, a silence that can be uncomfortable. There, when the drama ends and you turn your attention to another object, it's no longer the film because it's over, and the ego needs more drama to stay alive, to feed itself. And in that moment, right there, you come face to face with your true self. In that silence where there are no words, a second where there are no ideas, a moment of silence from the ego where all there is the presence of the self. There is your divine essence, your cosmic essence, your liberation, your essential being. That moment, that second of silence, has been the only real moment throughout the entire film, because you haven't been living a drama conceived by the ego, nor have you yet succumbed to any other idea, to anything else to do. It's a second of this connection where you are more connected than ever, because in that second you are the life that observes and creates from behind, from before creation, from before the next idea. More advanced spiritual practices like those of Kashmir Shaivism invite you to seek out these moments of silence. The silence between inhalation and exhalation. The silence between words, between letters. The silence, the emptiness of letting go of the body and seeing it floating in the dark blue sky. The silence between heartbeats. The void between the blink of an eye, between each movement, between each change in perception. There you are, you, your true self, yourself that is not an idea but a real vibration. The world is mental. The world we know is a construct of the mind, and the mind, to create this world, needs constant thoughts. Sydney Banks, with his theory of the three principles, said that creation is composed of mind, consciousness, and thought. And he called thought the missing link, the link that was missing to understand the essence of reality. That thought, which is not yours but comes to you, is what distracts you from your essence. Every thought comes with the opportunity to create realities, both real and imaginary. The mind doesn't care, because everything is mind, both something real and something imagined. It's mind, and when we let ourselves be seduced by a thought, when we get lost in a thought that arrives, we lose our connection with the self. We cease to be, and we fully enter the film, into the apparent reality outside, into the world, and we forget the self that we are. But the self doesn't stop from being, hence its name. It's all there is in reality. The mental world, this construct of ideas, isn't real. It seems real, but it isn't real, like the film with which this postcard began. Where is the film when it ends? Where are the characters when the film hasn't even begun? What happened to the feelings you felt during the film's broadcast? It's all fictitious, from the story you've been told to the film itself, to the characters. But you can relive it as many times as you like, and each time feel the same thing again. All different sensations, but in reality the film doesn't exist. It's an idea. Ideas come and go. That's why the film is and isn't. The feelings during the film are there, and then they leave. Everything impermanent is an idea, and every idea is mental, and it's not you. The only permanent thing is the self. It's the only thing that doesn't come or go. It always is. Your essence. And that's the key. If it comes and goes, it doesn't define you. You can't identify with something that comes and goes. Only your real self defines you. Consciousness. The mental world is made up of ideas. There's nothing but ideas. Even the idea that you are a being or that you have an ego are ideas, because the self, what we call the self, the true essence, doesn't need words to describe itself, nor sounds to identify itself, nor does it have a name. The moment we try to name it, we are already creating an idea, and it is the ego, it is the mind that needs to name it, to categorize it, to give it an identity. But the self has no identity. It is you, but it is not just you. It is all that is, has been, and will be. The self is universal and lives through all beings. The only thing that differentiates it from one being to another are the limitations it has self-imposed to experience being from those limitations. Even those are ideas, because the self is always absolute, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, even when it is limited, because limitation is nothing more than just another idea. Yahis Varu from the Cosmic Agency videos I used to listen to a few years ago used to say that the only thing that limits us is the idea that we are limited. The idea that we are limited. This idea of limitation makes us experience reality from those limitations for the sake of experiencing it, for the sake of playing with reality. But it's an idea. The self, which is one and indivisible, is never limited. Imagine that it is, so that from the universal mind it can invent thousands of characters from which to experience itself being limited in multiple ways. The world is mental, is the creation of the universal mind to see itself from infinite limited points of view, because from limitless presence there's only silence and emptiness, and from that silence, from that emptiness, presence creates the first separation, consciousness and vibration. in order to see itself. Presence for the first time sees itself and in its reflection, and being consciousness says, I am vibration. And the very presence, being vibration, says, I am consciousness. And there it can see itself. But consciousness without vibration is not. Not thus vibration exists without consciousness. Consciousness and vibration are one. Presence, the universal self. In the same way, ego and self are one. The self, the supreme presence, is never separate. The ego, the idea of separation, it's an idea that is never without the self. In this mental world of polarities and extremes, nothing exists without its opposite. There's no joy without sadness, no love without hatred. They've sold us a lie, convincing us that we have to achieve happiness, find love, and attainable utopias, because there isn't one without its opposite. You can't be happy always. There are moments of happiness, and with them, moments of sadness. And these moments aren't always the same. Happiness has thousands of different connotations, and there are infinite degrees of sadness. The yearning after the end of a film isn't the same as the deep sorrow after the loss of a loved one. Similarly, you can't always be in love. There's love and heartbreak, and different degrees of love. The ultimate goal of the seeker of knowledge, of the one who wants to awaken, of the one who wants to find the truth, is to delve into the search for extremes, like happiness, peace, or love, because they will always obtain the opposite pole. The ultimate goal of the seeker is to realize that they are already presence of being, and this presence is not love or hatred. It is not happiness or sadness. It is not emotion. It is not thought. All of that is ideas, mind. Presence is silence, where there is nothing but silence and emptiness. And that is terrifying for the ego, which wants to feel and, like in a film, live some drama. Give me drama, cries the ego, while presence simply is. And when the seeker realizes that seeking is just another idea that also distracts them from their true essence, they stop seeking and simply dedicate themselves to being. Returning to the film at the beginning, where is the self? The self is behind, always behind, observing, and behind the observer, where there is only consciousness, emptiness, silence. The self is between sounds, between one idea and another, between one observation and another, between one sigh and another. There, where there is nothing, not even nothing, there where the emptiness becomes irremediably unbearable for the comings and goings of the ego, there where the terrifying silence makes you ask yourself 1,000 questions. And it's not unbearable or terrifying. Once again, these are concepts, ideas. Silence is all there is. I invite you now to experience that emptiness, that silence, that presence, now, here with me. I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Feel your body relax. Fill your lungs with air. And when they full, hold your breath for a few seconds before exhaling. And exhale slowly, calmly. Feel your body relaxing with each breath. Continue breathing like this for a few moments, holding the air for a couple of seconds before expelling it, and also before inhaling again. You're going to wait a couple of seconds. You'll find your own rhythm in your breathing. Follow your breath with your mind and observe how your heart expands. The heart, whose beginning we locate in the center of the chest. There, focus your attention now as you continue breathing in the same way. The heart, the gateway to mystery, the path to the unknown, the drawer of sublime secrets. Observe now how the flower in your heart opens completely, revealing a beautiful 12-petaled flower. All petals open, radiant, soft, beautiful, fresh. From the center of the flower, a golden light emanates. You enter that light and see that it is a golden flame, within which there is a pearl, gently beating to the rhythm of your breathing. As you delve into the pearl, you discover the entire universe, and you see yourself floating, naked, in the dark blue night sky, among millions of stars. And you discover a black hole, which envelops and consumes you. There, in absolute silence, your body is no longer there, nor are the stars. There is no sound, and you can see from the silence the cosmos in its entirety. And you suddenly dissolve and become one with the universe in all its immensity. Keep breathing gently and slowly, gradually return to your reality. Wiggle your toes a little, your fingers, move your shoulders, listen to the sounds around you, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. You are the universal self, consciousness, and you find it in silence, in eternal presence, in emptiness, in the unnameable. Everything else, everything is mind, is illusion. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya.
Thank you for joining me and giving yourself to this experience. You can find all platforms for this podcast in the description, so please subscribe to the ones you like the most. Your essence is cosmic. You are a celestial being, a cosmic traveler, a vessel for the light and pure consciousness. With all my love.